Okay, we have a secant graph this time, and we have a negative in front, so we have a negative 1/3 secant. That's a 2 pi x. Okay, we want to find the same piece of information first, and we're going to graph a cosine graph, and then we'll come back and we'll fill it in with the secant. Okay, so amplitude, we're going to take the absolute value of this number, negative 1/3. So absolute value, negative 1/3, is going to be positive 1/3. That's your amplitude. Next, you're going to do period. Okay, that period is 2 pi divided by the number in front of the x. Now in this case, I have a 2 pi in front of the x, so my period is 2 pi divided by 2 pi, which is 1. Okay, so period is 1 this time. My phase shift, okay, so my phase shift is going to be 0 on this one. And the reason why is because there's no number that comes after the x. Normally you would have a plus or minus something after that. There's none in this case, so the phase shift is going to be 0. Okay, so it doesn't move left or right at all. Okay, we know that the graph is going to begin at 0. So when I have my first key point right there, but I need to find the other ones. So again, we're going to do quarter point on that. If we do quarter point, QP is equal to your period 1, and that's divided by 4. So 1/4 is going to be your quarter point. That's what I'm going to add all the way across here to get these other key points. 0 plus 1/4 is 1/4. Then I have 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. And of course these can be reduced here, but I'm just going to leave them in this form here to make it easier. So 1/4 plus 1/4 is 2/4, plus another one, and so forth. It makes it easier if you have common denominators. Now that I have my key points, I'm going to draw in the cosine graph because that goes along with secant. Alright, so I have 1/3 here and negative 1/3 down there. That's my amplitude. The graph this time, it's okay to start it on the y-axis because the graph wasn't moving left or right. So in this case, you always want to start the graph out at the amplitude. So if I have a negative cosine graph, I'm going to start it down here at that negative amplitude. So I have negative 1/3, I'll start it right here at negative 1/3. Next, it's going to cross the line here. Then it's going to go up to here, down there, then back down to 4/4 again. And then I'm going to draw in my dotted line because again I'm not doing the cosine graph, I want to draw the secant graph, but I have to begin by laying this out first. Everywhere it crosses the x-axis, I'm going to draw in a vertical dotted line here. That's the setup for it. The actual graph itself for secant is going to do this. It's going to come down and touch that top right there. And then I have a piece here and also a piece here. So if you don't like having it just go to here to be a half, you can always do, I can add one more here. This would be 5/4. Then I would have another vertical asymptote there, and then this would actually go back down. That would be the full cycle. One big one going up and one going down, and that would finish it. But again, you could also leave the half ones there as well. So again, they only wanted one period for this one, and so you can really show any part of this graph you wanted. We could have done one more and done negative 1/4 over here, and that would have been another one. So again, like I said, if I did negative 1/4, I could have had that part of the graph too, and then it means I'd have another one going down. So what I have drawn here is actually 1.5 periods. But again, you can either show this one and this one, or that one and that one. It doesn't really matter as long as you show one full cycle of the graph.